I'm not a Giant lover. I'm not a Giant hater. Everybody says this team could be this, and the Eagles could be this if they made field goals, and their kicker didn't miss 4 points against Atlanta. They should have won that game.
Right.
The Giants should be 5-0. Of all you look at all these teams, the first 2 games they lost, they choked away 10-point leads. So they were in position to win their first 2 games. And then that Dallas game, which was the absolute disaster, where they didn't know, they forgot what was going on with the clock at the end, and Eli gets a brain cramp.
Right.
And then the running back.
And Eli's been on fire this year.
Oh, he's playing great. I'm telling you right now, we look at this NFC East, which is a joke.
It's a total joke.
I think the Giants are the best team in the NFL. Now, I know Odell Beckham got banged up in the game, and Randall got banged up in the game. So everybody's getting nicked.
Right.
And the bottom line is going to be survival of the fittest.
Exactly.
Washington's not that good. I mean, Kirk Cousins, they got good running game, but their defense is up and down, and Cousins is up and down. There's so many up and down players. There's no real consistently good players in the NFL. I mean, Brady obviously is playing great.
Yeah. Well.
And you look around. I got all these quarterback numbers.
Tony, I just hang you to one stat on the sheet of
Josh
paper.
McCown.
Yeah, I mean, look, for all the money that's spent on all these other guys and all these guys that are underachieving, like the Russell Wilsons of the world, like you were saying, Tone. A guy like Josh McCown, he's got 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's thrown for like 1,200 yards already, and he's throwing to nobody. He's throwing to Travis Benjamin. They have no running game.
I know.
He's doing it by himself, and people are calling for Johnny Manziel. Josh McCown is helping them win.
No doubt about it. Josh McCown, and that game over the weekend was tremendous, that Cleveland game. That Cleveland Browns game, they should have lost that game.
Sure.
And then they find a way to win. They go overtime, and they win it.
No. Cleveland lost.
Did Cleveland lose in overtime? Are you sure?
Oh, no. I was thinking about the week prior to San Diego. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, that's right. The San Diego game, but they came back, and then they win it in overtime. And Josh McCown's playing great. Some of the other Marcus Mariota. He's been sacked 14 times already. In Tennessee, his numbers are good. 82 completions, 82 of 128, 64% completion. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards already, but his team stinks.
Right, and what's the one thing he's not doing? What everybody thought he was
run.
Exactly. Everybody thought he was going to come out of college and be a running quarterback.
And he only could play for Chip Kelly. Remember?
Correct.
Yeah. There's no way Marcus Mariota with that Oregon offense. Nope. So what's Tennessee thinking? They don't
they have a
him.
connection, him and Chip.
Now, what are they going to do?
No, listen, Mariota's still yet to be proven. He's still a rookie in this league, and he's barely 6 weeks old. But the kid's proven he can stand in the pocket and throw the damn football.
No doubt about it. And he's taken a beat. He's been sacked 14 times already in his first 5 games down there in Tennessee.
You look right now, who's looked better, Winston or Mariota?
Winston's been up and down. I mean, Winston throws a lot of interceptions.
Tony, Jameis Winston, for all the he was getting all this praise for being so far ahead of everyone as far as like understanding the game,
being ready for the pros. Absolutely,
exactly. He's been tricked and duped by NFL defenses more than anyone I've ever seen. He gets lulled into taking these into taking these and making mistake throws. Like he just gets baited by cornerbacks left and right. And you don't see Mariota making these mistakes.
No, but Mariota's. I mean, his team's bad. He's 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good
for a rookie quarterback. And his numbers are decent. And I mentioned he gets sacked a lot. And that's why I brought up Russell Wilson when we were talking to Baldy. I mean, Russell Wilson. Would you think that Russell Wilson's been sacked 22 times already?
No, it isn't.
In 5 games?
No, it isn't spending $1 billion on and draft picks on. I mean, and the trade for Jimmy Graham supposed to make that life a lot easier.
And you saw
Russell Wilson, and it hasn't.
And what do they have? Defense, and their defense blew a 24-7 lead at home to the Cincinnati Bengals.
And he's my fantasy quarterback, by the way.
No,
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
No, everybody was thinking that Jimmy Graham's going to go over there and set the world on fire with Russell Wilson. It's not happening, and I didn't see it happening to begin with anywhere because I don't think he fits what they try to do down there.
There are a lot of bad teams in the NFL.
You want to know why? Because a guy like Jimmy Graham is set on his quarterback being in the pocket. He's running the route, and he knows where his quarterback is. He knows where the ball is going to go. A guy like Russell Wilson, all he does is improvise.
Yeah, so when he improvises and he breaks away, he still has the ability to find a guy and get him the ball.
Right, but he doesn't. But the receivers he has are not capable of doing that. Like an Antonio Brown type wide receiver who, when the play breaks down and Ben Roethlisberger rolls out and he just improvises and goes all over the damn field and Ben just knows how to find him. That's a wide receiver who will help a quarterback like that. Doug Baldwin and Jermaine Kearse and what's the other guy? Matthews, the kid they put out in the Super Bowl last year.
The tight end?
No. The real tall wide receiver. His last name is Matthews. I forget his first name, but they brought him out in the Super Bowl. He had like 7 catches for like.
Yeah, what happened to that white guy, that gangly-looking white dude? Is he still on the team?
The tight end.
The wide receiver, yeah.
Oh,
no, the tight end.
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson,
Yeah,
that's right. One of the Wilson brothers.
He has more catches than Jimmy Graham does.
He does?
Yep.
I haven't even seen him on the field. You can usually tell because he's got the long, stringy blonde hair.
Flowing locks.
He's on there. I just think that he doesn't have the supporting cast around him to help him out, especially with Marshawn Lynch not in the game.
Exactly.
And that running game, because that passing game feeds off of the running game. They're a run team. They're a run team first before they're a pass team. And without them running the ball, they're just stuck in sand, man. They're not going anywhere.
I tell you, to me, the most impressive team. I know Cincinnati's having a great year, but they're good.
But they're a fluke because wait till the playoffs and then.
No, I don't know. That may change. I mean, we say that all the time about guys, but I think they may be. You know, Andy Dalton gets ripped. Oh, he plays well in the regular season, then he doesn't do anything in the playoffs. They're playing really at a high level. He's got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, they've never been this good.
They're playing fantastic, but I just, like I said, I have to see him win one playoff game before I say they're not a fluke.
Well,
Every
it's
year,
a report
Tony.
card to me. It's about who's playing great right now. Atlanta's playing great right now. Even though the Eagles should have beaten them. Atlanta's playing great. Obviously, Denver is a fluke because their defense is so good. I mean, they have no offense, and they're 5-0.
Yep.
And you look at the teams that are 5-0. I mean, it's unbelievable. The Falcons. Here's the most remarkable stat to me. The Arizona Cardinals are plus 100. That means they have scored 100 more points than they have given up. No team in football is even close to that. To me, the Arizona Cardinals of plus 100 is a staggering number when you think about that.
Here's the thing.
They beat teams down when they win.
Oh, you see what happens when you keep Carson Palmer healthy?
Exactly. And that's the same situation last year. If Carson Palmer doesn't get hurt, they may have been in the Super Bowl instead of the Seattle Seahawks.
Look, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald disappeared. Why? Because John Skelton and Ryan Lindley and all these guys are throwing the ball to him. You get a guy who can deliver the damn football where it's supposed to be, and Larry Fitzgerald's going to turn around and be a Pro Bowler like he's always been his entire career.
And the Bengals are plus 47, the other 5-0 team. So the teams that are good, are going to be up there as far as points given, points scored. It's all about offense. Everybody talks about it's got to be about defense. The best teams in football put up numbers.
Okay.
That's what it's all about. Now, when you get to the playoffs, it's a different story. But to me, the story so far, 5 games into the NFL season, is teams with really good offenses are beating defenses. There aren't very many shutouts. You're seeing a lot of wild and wacky games, and you're seeing teams that can run up, not necessarily run up scores, but can score points, win games.
But I think the Falcons are probably the shakiest of the bunch, considering the fact, like you said, Tony, they should have lost that Eagles game, and they should have lost the Redskins game.
Yeah, but they found a way because Kirk Cousins throws a horrible interception in overtime.
But what I'm saying is, though, is I think they're
and bad coaching, by the way, by Washington.
Terrible.
So I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of the game. Washington's coach did a horrible job, or they would have beaten the Atlanta Falcons. You're absolutely right.
They should have beat the Atlanta Falcons. I think Atlanta's a little fluky at 5-0. I think Denver,
it's still a great Dan Quinn right now is coach of the year. Is he not coach of the year already?
Absolutely.
If the season were to end right now,
how can he not be?
When you consider how bad that team was last year,
Tony, they were picked to finish dead last.
And you bring in a guy who's a defensive coach, and you bring in a new offensive coordinator, and Matt Ryan looks as locked in as I've ever seen him look this time of the season.